Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Nerf Herder Show. It's Nerf time with Daddy. Wait, let's get to it. It's your boy Benji, Nerf Herder. I've got a commission I finished up for a friend of mine, Dylan Dembick. You guys have heard me say his name constantly on this channel. He's a friend I've known for a very long time in the community. He likes to throw hilts my way. I've installed plenty for Dylan before. He does a lot of really good scrap builds and stuff like that. And every now and then he gets kits for himself, which are pretty cool, and I can't say no sometimes because I'm like, yeah, that seems like it'd be pretty fun to do. This one today is his Kaizen Saber Darksaber, which right out of the box, man, this is a slimmed, oval, very simplistic but comfortable hilt. This thing was very nice coming out the box. Got some really cool detail in there. I guess this is their standard finish. I'm not really sure on a lot of it, but either way, pretty cool. This has a CFX in it. The chassis is 3D printed. That came with the kit, it came with the hilt. We got CCsabers neopixel lit connector, and then something that took an extra week was once I had this thing pretty much all done up, we realized that it's a 28mm flat speaker, not a bass speaker. So I had to order another speaker for him. Once I got the speaker in, slapped it in, and she was all good. And then Dylan was like, "Why don't you hold off on that for me until payday?" So I haven't done a video yet. Decided to go ahead and do one real quick for him. So you got a screw right here is what you loosen with an 8/32 standard size. And when you loosen this guy off, come on out of here. And then that'll come off, and then you're going to take this. This is what I like to do. I like to grab up here because this Suba will be loose when you remove the body. So if you just slide the body, it's very tight. Dylan and Orlando and Jeremy's mom. All right. So this has a crystal chamber that they machine. So this, see, that's what I was saying. This piece right here is brass, I believe, and then the rest of this sucker is all 3D printed parts with like a PLA or something. So you got your 18650 high drain, 18650 15 amp high drain battery for neopixel, your CFX board right here, your 2.1mm recharge port, and your flat premium speaker, 28mm speaker. So I had to put the negative neopixel jumpers on top because even though there's a lot of room underneath for wires, which I really wish there was a cover for that. It's just, this is kind of a very skeleton-like chassis, kind of old school. So a lot of wires are visible, but I put heat shrink over the wire channels here so you don't see a bunch of wires everywhere. More wires than, what it has. There was actually not a lot of room on the CFX wall that it sits on, the cage for the CFX underneath it. There's just, I couldn't get the jumper wires underneath it for your neopixel negatives. So you got the crystal in there, and it mimics the blade. Put that back on. So just put it on. You're gonna feel it kind of tight, but it's gonna go on, and it'll work pretty nicely there. So put your crystal up in there, looking good. See, that looks good on a display. Good about right there. I like that. I do like that. That looks good. And it looks great in a couple of different colors too. On white, it's, it's a little, it's not hard to see. It's just a little less dramatic than like a green or a red. Spectrum. See, like, even though that white is pretty bright. But, you'll see it'll register a little bit more whenever you have it like the green shines through there. It's pretty cool. Let's get her back on a white. Crisp. So yeah, you got, I don't know if I showed this a second ago, Darksaber, Kaizen Sabers. So slide this guy back on. Your switches are underneath. There's a little wire channel. That's the easiest way for you to realize which way the body goes on. So once that goes on there, take this guy, put her back in, crank her on down, you know what I'm saying? Like Lando's mom on a Saturday night, you gotta crank her on down, lock it tight. From there, this actually, we were worried, because for me, I'm very particular on speakers. I don't like anything other than a 28mm speaker. It's just my personal preference. I know a lot of people will always ask me about that. I'm like, if it's a 24mm speaker, I'm kind of out. I just don't like the way they sound. But this 28mm flat speaker still sounds great. It's very loud, it's very crisp, especially on a Darksaber sound font. So you got one hole right here for some resonance, and then silence there. Very bright. Okay, so this video is probably not going to be too long because I only have the one font on there. Darkstar by Repulse is whatever one that Dylan had. This is the Darksaber font that he had. So I threw it on there for him. So yeah, you got your CCsabers lit neopixel connector. Woo. Sorry, mean to blind you. Ooh, crisp. All right, let's put that blade in there. Y'all know the drill. Put it in there, get a little bounce. Lock it down. This ain't Dylan's first rodeo. Takes a 1-inch blade, so any 1-inch blade will do. Neopixel. This sucker loud. On a white blade. It's gonna be a little hard to pick up any of the blaster bolts. What I did was I made them yellow. I just kind of thought that was kind of cool. So in person, it'll pick up a little bit. Lock up. It's kind of yellow. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you can really see the flash of yellow when the ignition goes. A little tiny yellow. Oh yeah, clash. Let's get some different colors. Looks really cool the way the lights shine through the emitter. My blade's actually not as well. I need to make a better neopixel blade where my neopixels go deeper down in there because it's kind of dims down, kind of towards that last bit. But with that right there is pretty sweet. And I can move that up for you, Dylan. I forgot to do it. There's your tip drag or melt or whatever the hell you want to call it. Spectrum. It's pretty cool in the yellow, too. Just doesn't feel right not having it on a white. I don't know why, it just doesn't feel right to me. But there you go, man. Sounds great. Very crisp. And again, you know, there's other sound fonts, but the stock sound fonts. It's the only one I put on was that one.
Sound bank selection.
It is the Darksaber.
I mean, what do you want? You want a stock sound font? You want sound? Is that what you want?
This is General Kenobi.
Youngling.
This is...
Here you go. Here's a stock sound font for you. It's so ridiculous that that's on there. Shoto's always cool. Oh, really slow ignition. Sorry. It just doesn't feel right. It never feels right. It's got to be on a Darksaber sound font. It's always got to be on the white Darksaber sound font. But, you know, if you want to get crazy and you want to throw other colors on or other sound fonts, do your thing. Tighten it down. This is a very easy saber to operate. Install wasn't too bad at all. It was just kind of cramming it all in that chassis. Honestly, I would have probably designed it maybe a little different, maybe somewhere where I could have got the bass speaker in there. But, you know, again, this works just fine. And again, it's comfortable. There you go, Dylan. Hope you like it, man. It'll look really good next to your other hilts. Alright guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much, and thank you, Dylan, for your patience and, you know, let me play with your hilts. I'll have this out to you as soon as you pay me my money, Dylan. Where's my money, man? Thank you guys so much for watching. And I got another commission video I'll be doing shortly. With I got a lot of things going on as far as tiptoeing in the world of 3D printing and designing, doing my own thing. So, you know, I haven't really done that many videos lately. I'd like to do more. There's a lot of other things that I'd like to do to better my craft first than to just pump out videos. So, yeah, stick around. Jump on live streams with people, but as far as like, you know, just throwing a couple random videos up a couple times a week may come to a halt for just a little while, just so I can learn other things that take up a lot of my time. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next video, may the force be with you.
Scruffy looking.